Do, 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 do. I should probably pull up chat. Do, 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 do. Boop, ba, da, da, da. I didn't adjust my camera. Professional streamer, by the way. Big your video, zoom in. There we go. Why is this so far over there? That is better. Okay, pull up chat. Pull this over here. Guess I'll have to pull this over here because I need that side for my workspace. Hello. Hey guys. First thing you see is the awkward face. I've actually never even seen the anime that comes from. I just fucking love that gif. Hey guys. Should probably turn on my boop. Boop. Put that down. There we go. Alright. A little bit of lighting for the face. But hey guys. So yeah, I'm gonna be editing a video. I've been told by a lot of people they want to see me stream editing a video, so figured why not since I'm working on this one to put out today. I already recorded all the audio because I don't think recording the audio would make for good stream content, especially because it's hard for me to pay attention to that and trying to do stream stuff at the same time. Okay, let's see. That should be good. Alright, cool. So first thing is I got all my audio, but I need to find some background footage to use. I might just pull up the stuff for the last stream. Even though my hunts were like really bad and sloppy in that run, I don't know if I actually want to use these hunts. Do I want to use these hunts? Yeah. These hunts were really bad last stream. I'm not a huge fan of my performance. We can probably use the stream before last. I think I already have that one saved in here. I think. Yeah, these runs are way cleaner. We'll just use this footage. Alright, let's open up folder. Boop. Cool. It's easy to scrub through on VLC. Oh, was this Kushan's? Was Kushan alright? I don't remember. Once I kind of that wall with that snipe the head. I had a really good Tigrex run in here somewhere. This Garuga wasn't that bad either. Oh, but I did Karat. I know I had a good. Oh god, was this the cancer blows? No, that was not the cancer blows. Okay. I had a really nice Tigrex in this stream somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm thinking of a different. Yeah, was this the Tigrex? The worst. Oh. No, this was not the good Tigrex. Fuck, I think the good Tigrex was in a different stream. I actually really want to use that Tigrex run because it's probably the cleanest Tigrex I've ever had. I probably have to downloads the boop. Probably have to downloads. I think it was from this stream. Unfortunately, for some reason, so you can download your YouTube videos, right? If you own the channel, but you can't download your stream VODs. You have to use a third-party software. I don't know why. It's weird. But they do not give you download options. So you have to use third-party software for it. There you go. Boop. I use 4K video downloader personally for downloading YouTube videos. HD downloads. That's probably gonna take a second though. 4 minutes, not that bad. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. How many of y'all are in here? 43. Okay, so now we're just downloading the background footage we're planning on using. Let me just scrub through and see if I can find this Tigrex run, so I can save my time later. Is this the Wrath that I didn't let off the ground? Lol. I don't think this was the Rathian that I think this is the Rathian I don't think it's the one I did the good trip chain on. Where's this? Oh, there's the Tigrex. Yeah, this poor Tigrex. I did not let him move. So 4 hours 45. It's about what I'm gonna be centering it on. Yeah, I just did not let this poor Tigrex move, man. My stream last night, I could not get trips to save my life for whatever. God damn it, a double bite. I should have done an upswing there instead. It's always interesting watching your VODs, you know? And seeing like, oh man, I could have done this so much better. It wasn't the cleanest trip chain ever. This is because you can 100% trip chain a Tigrex if you do this right. Yeah, that's a little late. That would have tripped too. I believe it would have tripped. Let's find out. Yeah, it would have at least. Well, it would have at least done the exhaust flinch. Now, why didn't I ZSD there? Like the soften up time was like a while away from finishing. I could have ZSD'd there. VOD review. It's how you get better at games, I guess. Is this finished downloading yet? Not yet. 2 minutes. The only thing I don't like about 4K is it doesn't let you specify time windows. I might look for a different third-party app just so I can specify time windows to download to make the file smaller. Yeah, I'm editing video Mifune. I'm just waiting for the background footage I'm gonna use to download so I can get to editing it. So I'm just watching the footage right now. I think this Odo was pretty good too, actually. Yeah, this Odo was good too. So I can probably just use like the straight Tigrex through Odo for the full video. Fuck my Rocksteady, I guess. I think this Barrier was pretty bad, if I remember correctly. Oh no, we're not watching that. We are not. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's just appreciate this fucking Diablos I fought 2 days ago. So charge, dig. I think this was one of the better areas too. Yeah, then I screamer him.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, no, there's a where is he? There's a later area where he gives me 3 non-charge or dig attacks that I can actually hit him during. Everything else is just charge, dig, charge, dig. Nah, it was earlier. Yeah, I got to hit him.
Literally dealt no damage. Has my Palico literally carried me through this Diablos hunt?
Like this Diablos hunt, I got to hit him like maybe 25 times the whole hunt because he was just constantly digging and charging, and apparently he starts limping. I'm just like, did my Palico do literally all of the damage to this Diablos? Shut up, Arati. High rank Diablos didn't do it that much, so like it wasn't that bad. Master rank Diablos is the worst fucking monster. Let's see, is this downloaded? Almost 40 seconds. So it was at 4:45 or 4:43. I start fighting this Tigrex. Yeah, 4:44 probably. I start fighting this Tigrex. So it was 4:44 to including the turf war. 4:44 to 4:49 probably. Yeah, 4:49. So 5-minute Tigrex, not bad, not terrible. Could be worse, definitely. Especially Switch X versus Tigrex. You kind of have to trip chain him, or is just awful. All right, that was bad. Odo always does the jump tail flip into second jump. So if you position yourself right, you can avoid the tail flip and then 180 and hit him as he's coming back in. Which is what I should have done there. It's nice because you can set up slower hits that way. Like if I like hop to the side so his tail whip misses me and then 180 into a heavy slam, I can often land the heavy slam on him as he's jumping back in. If I have myself in the right position. Okay, it's downloaded now. Cool. Let's start editing. As interesting as it is to watch this. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Do 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 do. Gonna take a second to import. It's kind of slow for the file that big. All right. Rename this. AB is a twap. Okay. Let's see here. 4 minutes, 4 hours, 45. Or 44, I think. Yeah. This is a really clean Tigrex. That's a good start point. And that's good enough for now. Okay. And then we will do some cuts later if we need better footage, but
Hello everyone, Jinx here,
Alright.
the Monster Hunter math guys. So,
I should probably turn down desktop on OBS a little bit so y'all can actually fucking hear me. Okay, pull up my template assets. If you ever do any kind of video production work on the reg, having pre-saved assets saves you a lot of fucking time, so make sure you do that. Boop, copy that.
in today's hello,
Let's see.
the math guy. Monster Hunter.
There's the beginning of math. Boop. Okay.
Hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter.
Too early. One of the. You can start at the.
Hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter math guys.
Boom, intro done. Like I said, template assets help. Having pre-made assets helps speed things up.
In today's video, I want to talk about an extremely common misconception as well as build mistake I see so many people doing. And that mistake is prioritizing raw like attack boost in your builds.
Nah, that's too much effort. I was thinking if I should do only villains do this meme for like crit versus attack boost, but that's too much effort for this.
Prioritizing raw like attack boost in your builds. In other words, attack boost is a trap.
Yeah, I can do a thing here. Oh shit, do I not have this saved? I have actually not. Why do I not have an asset save for this? Wow, I really don't have an asset save for this. Okay.
Boost is.
I have to do this manually then. Then let's delete these. Attack boost, and then center this. Attack boosts. Make that bigger. Too small. You know what? Let's do single word. Attack.
Attack boost.
Oops. Attack boost. Apologize, I'm not going to interact with chat too much, but I'm editing. Is center that. A trap, and we can make trap especially big because it's the most important part of that statement.
Trap. A trap.
And then kill that at the beginning of the next line.
Woods attack boost is a.
That's too late.
Otherwoods attack boost is a trap. Is a Otherwoods attack boost is a trap. However,
Cool.
this is a fairly lengthy discussion. So before we dive on in, I want to quickly remind you
that we now have a Twitter where you can chat things about. I already said this earlier.
Things we're thinking about, and Tuna does of course have a Twitch. Where
This is obviously a pre-made asset.
In fact, as soon as this video goes live, he will be live on Twitch. So be sure to go show him some love. All right.
Transition after.
All right.
There we go.
So why is attack boost a trap? Now, don't get me wrong. Attack boost, especially attack boost 4, is fairly good.
Insert Star Wars reference. Fine. Fine, it's a trap. Admiral Akbar. Fine, we'll get one of those in here. Oh, okay, we'll do a combination meme. Let's use this folder. Fine, we will use meme. Thanks, Chato. Why is it set up that way? That's not how it's supposed to be. Whatever.
Attack boost is a trap. However,
okay, that works. Stealth will pick the that is too much effort. Whenever I do these meme things, I generally just generally look it up on Google, right? And then find one that seems funny to me, and then if I need to insert something, I'll quickly pull up Photoshop and just throw another PNG over it or some shit. But yeah, so that's what we're just gonna use this one because it's easier. Oh, wait a second. There's a thing we can do with this. God, I have to remember, where is that asset saved? I have an asset that's perfect to overlay on top of this. I just don't remember if I have it. Oh, where is it? Fuck, did I not save it separately? I might have to... Where are you, Photoshop? I have like a perfect asset to throw on this. Like, Photoshop's loading a bit slowly, I guess, because I have OBS streaming as well. Premiere, Photoshop, and OBS at the same time. My computer is hating me right now. Where are you? Which one are you? Which one are you? Which one are you? Hey, look, it's all my thumbnails. Which one are you? It should be saved in here. I can't find the Admiral face I have, but I can find the Rajang face I have. Should I just use Rajang? Rajang should be fine, yeah. I can't find my Admiral asset. What the fuck is it? Maybe it's a Premiere. Maybe I have saved the Premiere asset. I'm not very good at organizing, guys, so sometimes I forget where the fuck I put things. Which, if I actually had a better organization system, I'd probably edit faster, but... I know which one it's in, but I don't know where to find that file because I forgot where the fuck my old... I forgot how the fuck... Okay, this is too much effort. We're just using Rajang face. This is way too much effort for a fucking meme. We're just using a Rajang face. Okay, we gotta throw a horizontal flip on this. And then we're gonna make it bigger. It doesn't work really well with this meme we have. Let's grab a different one. Hopefully it's not a WebP, that would be annoying. Use this one instead. Oh my god, that's way too small. The fidelity is gonna be terrible. Okay, let's try using this one then. Let's try using this one maybe. Yeah, that's got better. That's got better fidelity. Boop. Go ahead and turn off the flip on that. Make this bigger. Yeah, it's gonna fit more nicely. Aha! Close enough. Good enough. Good enough. Let's send our big brain. Let's send our big brain energy to drinks. Lol. Lol.
A trap. However, this is a fairly lengthy discussion. So before we dive on in, I want to quickly remind you that we do have a Twitter where we post updates about all of our videos as well as other things we're thinking about. And Tuna does of course have a Twitch where he streams almost every single day. In fact, as soon as this video goes live, he will be live on Twitch, so be sure to go show him some love. Alright, so why is Attack Boost a trap? Now, don't get me wrong, Attack Boost, especially Attack Boost 4, is fairly good. However, it is not your top priority.
That dunk! Let's rewind real quick.
Your top priority. If your intention is to increase
Calculated.
the damage of your build, you should not be prioritizing Attack Boost over much more important damage skills. And these damage skills are Weakness Exploit.
Okay, I was too distracted by the dunk to actually do the thing I'm supposed to do. Okay, boop.
Your intention is to increase the damage. Fairly good. However, it is not your top priority. If your intention is to increase the damage of your build, you should not be prioritizing Attack Boost over much more important damage skills. And these damage skills are
Beginning that's a little cut off. There we go.
And these damage skills are
Number one, I have caps lock still on. Priority, damage skills. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see. What do I? This exploit 3. Okay. Wex 3.
3, crit boost 3,
Crit boost 3 and crit I7. Crit I7. Okay, center that.
and critical I7. Now, you may not need all 7 crit I if you're using a higher affinity weapon, but the point is you want to hit 100% affinity with crit boost 3 before you even consider slotting in attack boost. Far too often do I see builds that prioritize getting attack boost 7 and do not have any crit boost in the set whatsoever. Now, we have actually already discussed this exact.
I need the. Oh shit, do I have the thumbnail for this? That's a really old video. That is a really old video. Oh shit, I do. Neat. Okay. There we go.
do I see builds that prioritize getting attack boost 7 and do not have any discuss this exact subject in one
of our
original
original.
Monster Hunter Math core videos.
God, that thumbnail is so old. Look how old that fucking thumbnail looks. Jesus. But yeah.
Or videos talking about EFR, and that video was made back in base Monster Hunter World.
Ooh, here's what we do. Now we pull up that old ass video. Actually, is it on the popular? I actually don't know how well watched that video is relative to all recent ones. Go to Monster Hunter Math. Why are these here? One sec, I have to fix the settings on this. Playlist settings, public, ordering, date added, newest, all dates published, newest. Boop. Done. Save. Properly reordered now. Yep, we're good. Okay. Anyway. Swore I already fixed that one, but I guess not. Old ass video.
I am stupid.
And we get
Okay.
a true roll of 3 popular demand Timmy.
This was the Rip Timmy video. I fucking forgot. Oh, God. All right. Let's find the actual point where I talk about why attack boosts. Boop. All right. Old ass. All right, let's pull up that. I spawn early. Old ass. Drag that to our project. Switch back to main camera.
And that video was
Okay, let's make this larger.
EFR, and that video was made back in back.
Okay, boop boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dudes, I always use 10 as the base frames for my animations to make sure that they have consistent like speed somewhat. Shh. Oh god, this is so slow because of OBS. It's so slow. Good enough. Grab this. Oops.
Made back in base.
That looks good. All right.
Original Monster Hunter Math core videos talking about EFR, and that video was made back in base Monster Hunter World when Raw was actually stronger than it currently is. Back then, Attack Boost 4 was a lot more attractive than it is in Iceborne.
That is an Iceborne.
Than that is in Iceborne. See, critical modifiers skills like Critical Eye have actually gotten buffed in Iceborne. Critical Eye itself now gives you 40%.
I am too lazy to look up where I have that screenshot of the actual patch notes, so fuck it. I'm just gonna write it down.
Now gives
And affinity up from 35%. Boop. All right.
you 40% affinity at level 7, and every single level gives you 5%.
Why skip my own ads? Because I have shit to do.
Having the weird 3, 6, 10 thing it used to have. Technically, weakness exploit is worse if you don't soften a monster part, but either way, it's still horribly.
Wax 3 gives % on weak points and 50% on softened.
Technically, weakness exploit
You-
used to have. Technically, weakness
Okay,
exploit
that's
is
cool.
worse if you don't soften a monster part, but either way, it's still horribly efficient. Crit boost is exactly the same as it was previously, but because it multiplies with critical eye and critical eye got buffed, it did technically get a little efficiency buff. Conversely, raw attack skills got weaker. Technically, the only one that actually got a direct nerf was non-elemental boost because it's 5% of base true raw instead of technically
The only direct number nerf was non-LE boosts. 5% of base E raw. Let's do 10% into 5% of base T raw.
technically the only one that actually got a direct nerf was non-elemental boost because it's 5% of base true raw instead of 10%. However, every single raw attack skill, so attack boost, agitator's attack components, peak performance, resentment, etc., despite none of these actually getting direct numbers nerf, they are all weaker in despite
not getting nerfs in numbers, all raw skills are weaker. All raw skills are weaker.
none of these actually getting direct numbers nerf, they are all weaker in Iceborne. But why are they weaker?
And then we add in a in here. 500. I generally use 500% as the base scaling
Why
for all of my
are they
emotes.
weaker? But why are they weaker? What has changed? Well, it comes down to the difference between.
And then copy paste. Boop.
Well, it comes down to the difference
Between what did I say? Additive and multiplicative. Okay. Additive versus multiplicative bonuses.
and multiplicative bonuses. So in order to explain this properly, let's first revisit what EFR or effective raw is. It is imperative to understand how the formula for effective raw works in order to understand why attack boost is a trap in Iceborne.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Wait, oh yeah, Vanilla Muscle World Crit Eye was 30%. Fuck, I have to re-record that line, don't I?
Affinity at level 7, and every single level gives you. Critical Eye itself now gives you 40% of
Shit, you're right.
affinity at level 7, and every single level gives you 5% instead of having the weird 3, 6, 10 thing it used to have. Technically, weakness.
Okay, so I'd have to record the audio at least. Just need to change that. Yeah, I guess I didn't include. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I didn't really mention the percentage skills like fortify and heroics. I should probably record a line about that real quick.
I got buffed at 10%. However, every single raw, etc., despite none of these actually getting direct numbers nerfed, they are all weaker in Iceborne.
Okay, all weaker in Iceborne.
They are all weaker in Iceborne.
With the exception of percent raw skills like fortify.
They are all all weaker in Iceborne.
With the that's too loud. I gotta back up from my mic a bit.
They are all weaker in Iceborne.
With the exception of percent roll modifiers like fortify or heroics. Heroic. Recording audio is hard.
All weaker in Iceborne.
With the exception of percent roll modifiers like fortify or heroics. Okay.
But why are
And I need to check if the clip level is fine.
with the exception
Too loud.
numbers nerf, they are all weaker in Iceborne. With the exception
That's fine.
of percent roll modifiers like fortify or heroic.
Audio levels being the same is fine if I record everything in one sitting. It's when I have to change things or insert new clips that I have to like get shit right. It's pretty easy for me to just like sit next to my mic at the exact same distance and just keep and talk about the entire video subjects. But like once I'm like editing and moving around, my chair moves around and I'm further or closer to my mic is when it starts getting weird. Glad to hear you, Ribbo. Thanks. It's fun, but not easy work.
Why
And like, I also want to say like our style of video is completely different from like styles like what Weiss does, for example. But I have also huge respect for compilation editors because yes, compilation editing is probably in terms of technical skill the easiest one to do. Most people can do compilation editing, but the labor that goes into compilation editing is huge. Imagine you have a 6-hour stream and you're trying to get all the highlights off of it. Twitch clips and stuff like that do help with that, but otherwise you have to scrub 6 hours of footage. You have to spend 6 hours just going through footage before you even start cutting clips, before you start ordering them, before you start doing transitions, before you start doing any of that. It's extremely labor intensive to edit compilation style videos, which is why I personally will never do it.
are they weaker? What has changed? Well, it comes down to the difference between additive and multiplicative bonuses. So in order to explain this properly, let's first revisit what EFR or effective raw is. It is imperative to understand how the formula for effective raw works in order to understand why attack
Yeah, plus you also have to deal with permissions and shit like that.
attack boost is a trap in Iceborne. Now I could just tell you to go watch that old video so you can
Oops. This one.
tell you to go watch that old video so you can know what EFR is, but honestly it's super old and kinda cringy, so
We need a Miyano in here.
old and kind but honestly it's super old and kinda cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
Okay, and I think a Honeybrowse right before that might be appropriate too. I forget how much I scale Honeybrowse. I think 200%, yeah. And name my gifts weird things.
so you can know what EFR is, but honestly it's super old and kinda
It's that should be good.
EFR is, but honestly it's super old and kinda cringy, so let's just tell you to go watch that old video so you can know what EFR is, but honestly it's super old and kinda cringy.
Oh, hush, Walt.
So let's just briefly cover it. So effective raw is honestly it's
Yeah. I think it's better to just not have the Honeybrowse in there. The timing doesn't work out.
old and kinda cringy, so let's just briefly cover it. So it's super old and kinda cringy, so let's just briefly cover it. So effective raw is essentially what on average your damage output. Effective
EF. Oh god, wrong button. Oh no. Okay. EFR. What's on average your weapon deals in damage? Raw damage.
Raw is essentially what on
Average
average
your-
your damage output will look like.
Your raw damage looks like. I guess that's a more layman's way to understand it.
Basically accounts for every single possible variable within your build that determines how much damage your attacks will deal. And the reason why I say it's on average is because it also accounts for your critical hit chance will look like. It basically accounts for every single possible variable within your build.
I record that to say raw.
What on average your damage output will look like.
It basically accounts for every single variable within your build that determines what the raw damage on your attacks will look like. I'm trying to keep this relatively low into terms of the technical speak and be a bit more layman's so it's more understandable. The important part here is that they understand the concepts.
Every single variable within your build that determines what the raw damage on your attacks will look like.
Why not type what's your raw damage? What your average touch type average raw damage? Yeah, that's actually a good point. Measure the measure of your average raw damage. Yeah, that is a bit cleaner.
So effective raw is essentially what on average your damage output will look like. It basically accounts for every single variable within your build that determines what the raw damage on your attacks will look like. And the reason why
We'll call this line too, I guess. Actually, the is essentially the measure of.
Then kind of cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
So the
Old and kind of cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
So effective raw is a measure of what your average raw damage output looks like on a weapon. On a build, I guess is more accurate.
Old and kind of cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
So your EFR is a measure of what your average raw damage looks like on a build.
It basically accounts for every.
I don't want to say looks like twice.
Old and kind of cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
So your effective raw is a measure of what your average raw damage is on a bit. Yeah. Weird pause.
Cringy, so let's just briefly cover it.
So your effective raw is a measure of what your average raw damage is on a build. There we go. Clean. Oops. Audio channels. Boop, boop. My mic records in mono like most mics do.
So
or like all analog mics do.
Cover it. So your effective raw. So let's just briefly cover it. So your effective raw is on a build. It basically accounts for every build. It
Cuts off too hard.
on a build. It basically
There we go.
accounts for every single variable within your build that determines what the raw damage on your attacks will look like. And the reason why I say it's on average is because it also accounts for your critical hit chance with a
-1.
standard deviation on your attacks will look like. And the reason why I say it's on average is because it also accounts for your critical hit chance with a standard deviation. In other words, if you have 70, it's on average is because
Average is because it accounts for crits. 5% affinity, crits 70% of time. I included that line because I felt it's necessary to explain what I mean by a standard deviation. I don't know if people know what that word means.
accounts for your critical hit chance with a standard deviation.
Because it accounts for
In
crits.
other words, if you have 75% affinity, it assumes that you will crit 75% of the time. Now, the way you get your EFR is you take crit 75% of the time. Now, the way you get your EFR is you take your true roll multiplied by your crit modifier multiplied by your get your
EFR is
the way you get your EFR is you take your true
roll times crit mod times sharpness
multiplied by your crit modifier multiplied by your sharpness modifier
times miscellaneous bonus.
And then multiplied by any miscellaneous bonuses like class bonuses. These bonuses are things like longsword spirit levels, power files on switch axes, that sort of stuff. These things are multipliers and they stay consistent on your build regardless of what you throw in it, so we're not really going to worry about those. So first off, your true roll is just your attack stat but without your bloat mod.
Boop, boop. This one's a bit more of a text heavy one because there's a lot of dense information. True roll attack stat divided by bloat mod.
Your true roll is just your attack stat but without your bloat modifier. In case you didn't already know.
And I need to pull up my bloats image. Bloats. Oh god, that's big. Why is that full screen? Oh wait. Bloats. Open file location. Boop. Boop. Okay. Let's do 150 on that. Oh, whoops. Don't render, please. My computer will melt if I render right now.
In this game has a bloat modifier, basically modifier. In case you didn't already know, every single weapon in this game has a bloat modifier. Basically, your true roll gets multiplied by this to show your attack stat in game. I assume the reason why there are attack bloats in the game is to make the heavy hitting weapons feel like they have more attack stat and vice versa for the lighter hitting weapons. But in terms of damage calculations in game, it only cares about true roll. Also, just to clarify, the attack stat from attack skills in game are true roll. So 1 level of attack boost gives you 3 true roll, 2 levels of attack boost gives you 6 true roll, etc. Your crit modifier is just a combination of your affinity as well as your critical, etc. Your crit modifier
I explain the actual formula in a second, so
as well as your
just layman's.
So basically what you do is you take the crit damage.
Take the one step back, boop.
The crit damage you have based
Crit damage -1 times affinity. Damage -1 times affinity +1.
on your critical boost level, you subtract
Crit mods formula. Formula 1, meow meow, zoom zoom.
and multiply it by your affinity and then add 1 to the total. So just as an example, let's say
What's our example?
you have critical boost 3, which is a 1.4 times critical damage multiplier.
So 1.35 BB2 -1 equals 0.35. What's
So
the...
you also have 80% affinity. So you subtract
0.35 times 0.8 affinity equals, what did I say?
1 from the 1.4 and you get 0.4. Multiply that by 0 damage multiplier. And let's say you also have 80% affinity.
Wait a second.
As an example, let's say you have critical boost 3, which is a
I'm an idiot. I had critical boost 3. Okay. 0.4
4 times critical damage multiplier, and let's say you also have 80% affinity. So you subtract 1 from the 1.4 and you get 0.4. Multiply that by 0.8, which is your affinity, and that gives you 0.32.
Making sure I didn't have any fuck ups there, and so 0.32 plus 1 equals. I feel like the entire reason this example in here is just to like step by step it for people who get confused when they see equations, because I know there are lots of people who do get confused when they look at equations. Equals 1.32 crit mod.
Add 1 to that, and boom, you have your critical modifier. So Crit Boost 3 with 80% affinity is essentially a 32% increase on DPS on average. Finally, we have Sharpness modifiers. Basically, every different level of Sharpness gives you a different multiplier on your total damage output.
Oh shit, my shop doesn't include purple anymore, does it? Okay, we gotta make a thing. We gotta make a thing for this real quick. Fuck. Which one of these is my sharpness? Has my sharpness in it? I don't like it's this one. Maybe it's an older sheet. Maybe this one? This is all pre-channel stuff. Pre-channel stuff. I could just make a brand new one. I just think it would be faster to edit the old one. No, that's a super old one. Where the fuck is it? EM older, maybe? Okay, fuck it. I'm just making this in like, just making a new one for this, I guess. Sharpness. Because I have to make a new one that has purple added in there. Okay. Sharpness. White, blue, green, yellow. Fuck. Yellow, orange, red. Modifier. 1.32, 1.2. Oh, wait. Purple. 1.39. 1.05. 1. 0.75. 0.5. Equal. Wait. Equal to this divided by this minus 1. Copy. Pastes. Pastes. Change. Percent increase. Percent increase. Change all of these into. Where are you? Percentages. Boom. Alright, cool. And now we just have to format this to look pretty. Full cells. Bold. Bold. Leave these as they are. Purple needs to be purple colored. Make it slightly more vibrant. Yeah, we'll use row 2s for this. Purple. White is white. Blue is blue. Green is green. Yellow is yellow. Orange is orange. Red is not deep enough red. Red. This orange is like very not orangey. There we go. Better. Cool. And then I'll just call this Bounce City. Because why not? Okay, and then I think the only thing is we need to make all of these like 24 is better. Bounce City, bitch. Bounce City, bitch. Left, right align so it matches. Bounce City. For the memes. Yeah, this can't be white as well. Let's go with that. Boom. Insert one left. Clear that. Boom. All right. We'll say this is a new sharpness file. Good enough. Sharpness. Cool. Now I need to pull up calcs. IB early. Sharpness. Copy this over. Replace file. Boom. We got sharpness now. Yay. Okay.
Finally, we have sharpness modifiers. Basically, every different level of sharpness gives you a
Shit. Raw modifier. Obviously. Okay. I hesitate to put the elemental ones down yet because I still am not 100% certain what the blue elemental modifier is. I think it might have changed in Iceborne. Sharpness.png, save, replace, boom. Okay. Back to wrong one. Where are you? Iceborne early. Replace file, and it should auto update.
basically every different level of sharpness gives you
Yep.
a different.
Cool. Why is it so? What the fuck? Okay, never mind. Let's recopy this, I guess. Why is it cut off? Ah, there we go. Better. Okay, it was just having difficulty loading the source file.
Every different level of sharpness gives you a sharpness modifiers. Basically, every different level of sharpness gives you a different multiplier on your total damage output. In Iceborne, for purple, this is a 1.39. For white, this is 1.32. For blue, this is 1.2. For green, it's 1.05. And for yellow, it's going to be a 1.0. As you can see, the DPS increase jumps from green to blue and from blue to white, which is why white at minimum is pretty much considered mandatory for any build. Alright, so now we have our EFR, and our EFR is the only component of the... Alright, so now we have our EFR. Alright, so now we have our EFR, and our EFR is the only component of the damage formula our build affects. The other two components are your motion values and the hit zone value of the monster you're hitting. Motion values are basically the percentage of damage that each attack for each different weapon deals. These are locked to every attack, so we can't affect them with our builds. And then the hit zone value is just the percentage of damage a monster's body part takes to your particular damage type. For example, the training pole has an 80 hit zone value to every single raw damage type, meaning it takes 80% of the damage you deal. Now we can increase the hit zone value.
Oof, that slinger burst.
But in terms of your builds, there's nothing you do to affect it.
I'm not even gonna bother with text for those. They're not like super important to know.
Boom, you have the number that pops up on screen when you hit a thing. Okay, we understand how EFR works, so why does this make attack booster trap? So let's examine the differences between critical modifier and more true attack booster trap. Okay, we understand how EFR works, so why does this make attack booster trap? So let's examine the differences between critical modifier and more true raw.
Joinks colorblind. I don't have the best color sense. It's the thing I hate the most about making thumbnails is figuring out the color for text.
So the critical modifier and critical modifier. So let's examine the differences between critical critical modifier and more true raw. So the critical modifier and your true raw are both multiplicative with each other. So the critical modifier and your critical modifier and your differences between critical modifier. Let's examine the differences. So let's examine the differences between critical modifier and more true raw. So the critical modifier and your true raw are both more.
What? Tone deaf and bad at colors, pretty much. But I'm, you know, I can do math things and logical deductions and shit. So trade off.
Multiplicative with each other. What this essentially means is you have the same critical modifier and add extra raw into your build, the percent of damage increase that the critical modifier gives you stays exactly the same. So if, for example, we have a 1.4 critical and 100 true raw, that's still a 40%.
By 4 strip mod times 100 T raw equals 140. 40% increase. 1.4 crit mod times 200 T raw equals 280. 40 increase. I like using like examples to help people fully absorb concepts. At least for me personally, whenever I was learning anything new in like algebra, calculus, or whatever growing up, I always absorbed the concepts much more soundly when I kind of ran through a few examples just to see it in practice.
Increase to 140. And if we have the same 1.4 critical modifier with 200 true raw, it's still a 40% increase to 280 EFR. Conversely, attack boost is additive to itself, and so is critical hit modifier skills. So for example, if you start off with 100 true raw, firstly, attack boost is additive to itself, and so is critical hit modifier skills. So for example, if you start off with 100 true raw,
It's been a while since I've done a video like this that has this much.
Added 10 to it, that's a 10%.
Let's do it this way. And divided by 100 T raw. Let's do it this way because it's the same format I used for the last example. And divided by 100 equals 10% increase. 200 T raw plus 10 equals 210, which is, if I remember correctly, 6.67. By 100 is by 10. But at 210 divided by 200 is a 6.67% increase, if I remember correctly. Let's find out if I'm right.
An increase. However, if you have 200 true raw to start off with and add an extra 10 true raw to that, you end up with a 6.67% increase. Additive bonuses get incrementally worse the more of that base stat you already have. But critical modifier skills are also additive to themselves. So if you have 100% affinity with no crit boost, getting crit boost 1. So if you have
100% affinity.
100% affinity with no crit boost, getting crit
affinity with CB 0.
Boost 1 brings you to a 1.3 model from 1.25, which is a 4.
With CB 0 equals a 1.25 modifier. The 1 is a 1.3 modifier. CV2 is a 1.35 modifier. CV4 is a 1. You know what? Fuck this. I'm making a spread. This is easier to explain with a spreadsheet clip than it is with like crit boost, crit mod. Let's see, crit boosts, crit damage, 100. Let's copy and paste this so we can just have, you know what? Let's move this over here. All of these bigger real quick. This is just much easier to explain with a spreadsheet. Crit mod. Since left just saying affinity. Oh wait. Affinity. Crit boost level 1, level 2, level 3. Rest of these can get deleted. Oops. Oh wait, I need a level 0 as well. Level 0. Okay, crit damage is 1.25, 1.3, 1.35, 1.4. Affinity is just 100% down the board. 100%. Crit mod is therefore, well, in this case, we'll just set equal to this to save time, but it's the same shit. 10% increase equal to this. This divided by this. I have this fucking upside down, don't I? I do. Fuck me. This should be 3, 1. 1.4, 1.35, 1.3, 1.25. Okay, and then this is equal to this divided by this minus 1. Guess we'll just color this darker blue, lighter blue, lighter blue, lightest blue. Cool. This is just too complicated to explain by typing shit out.
So if you have 100% affinity with no crit boost, getting crit boost 1 brings you to a 1.3 mono from 1.25, which is a 4% increase. But going to critical boost 2, which puts you at a 1.35 modifier with 100% affinity, is only a 3.8% increase. So if they're both additive with themselves and multiplicative,
I know I say 3.8, but you can whatever.
Attack boost and true raw so much worse. Well, that's because there are basically no outside sources of affinity percent increase. So if they're both additive with themselves and multiplicative with each other, why is attack boost and true raw?
God damn it, it's 210 divided by 200, not 6.67. 5%. Fuck me. Alright, one sec. Re-recording line. Thanks, Arati. Shit, where was that?
Modifiers like fortify or hit.
Why did I? Anyway.
100 true raw to start off. Additive bonuses get incremental. However, if you have 200 true raw to start off with and add an extra 10 true raw to that, you end up with a 6.67% increase.
Where did I get 6.7% increase? I must have fucked up clicking a button somewhere.
Or added 10 to it, that's a 10% increase.
However, if you start with 200 true raw and add 10 to that, that's only going to be a 5% increase. And I dropped the thing, but it's okay. It happened after I stopped hitting record.
However, if you start with 200, 10% increase. However, if you start with 200 true raw and add 10 to that, that's only going to be a 5% increase. Additive bonuses get incremental. So if they're both additive with themselves...
Math guy, by the way.
Why is attack boost and true raw so much worse? Well, that's because there are basically no...
Of crit modifiers outside of your builds.
No outside sources of affinity or crit boost for your critical modifier.
No outside sources of affinity or crit boost. I have to let me get another line for that. Oh, actually, we can do this. Crit boost. Haha.
Increase your critical hit damage is with a critical boost skill, and the outside sources of affinity are unreliable fire. The only way to increase your critical hit damage is with a critical boost skill, and the outside sources of affinity...
Instead of crit boost, I can just say crit damage, because that's more precise.
Are unreliable and very rare, such as the affinity songs on Hunting Horn and Affinity Booster. Realistically, we can't really rely on any of these, because Affinity Booster lasts for a very little time, and Hunting Horns are almost always better off running an attack up extra large instead of affinity up. Conversely, there is so...
Where are you?
First up in Master Rank is... Conversely, there is...
Gotta center it. I should make this bigger.
Is...
Yeah.
Is there...
Oops. Whoops.
Is... so much true roll, much true roll bonuses you can get from outside of your builds. So there is so much true roll bonuses you can get from outside of your builds.
However, So this video is talking about why attack boost is a trap, essentially, and kind of explaining why critical modifier skills are much more valuable.
So first up, in Master Rank, the general meta weapons hit 270 to 290. The general Master Rank, general meta weapons hit 270 to 290.
Oops.
Raw, so let's just say 280. Then you also get 15 from attack up extra large. You get 7 from mega. Then you also get 15.
Boost attack large is plus 15. Mega demon drug is plus 7.
15 from attack up extra large. You get 7 from mega demon drug. You get 10.
I said attack up extra large. God damn it.
Then you also get 15 from and 10 from demon powder. 270 to 290 raw, so let's just say 280.
Then you also get plus
270 to 290 raw, so let's just say 280.
Then you also get plus 15 raw. 15.
270 to 290 raw, so let's just say 280.
Plus, then you also get plus 15 from eating for food attack large. You also get plus 7 for mega demon drug, and you also get plus 10 for both demon powder and might seed.
Plus, then you also get plus 15 from eating for food attack. 15 from eating for 15 from eating for food attack large. You also get
I just fucking re-record it.
270 to 290 raw, so let's just say 280.
Then on top of that, you get plus 15 from eating for food attack large. You get 7 for mega demon drug, and you get 10 each for demon powder and might seed. That one sounded good.
Then on top of that, you get plus. So let's just say 280. Then on top of that, you get plus 15. From eating for food attack large, you get 7 for mega demon drug, and you get 10 each for demon powder and might seed. And you get a total of 15 between the power, talent, and charm you keep. And you get a total of 15.
Can I fit that? Yeah, that fits fine. 42 plus 15 equals plus 57t roll.
15 between the power, talent, and charm you keep in your inventory. This means a post-story master rank build before you even really hit endgame already has. This means a post-story master rank build before you even really hit endgame already has 337 true raw in it before you even account for skills. And this doesn't even include non-elemental boost, which pops this up by about another 14 points or so. Now let's take the 21 true raw from attack boost 7, add it to this 337 and see what the percent increase is. That's right, attack boost 7 is a 21 true raw. So now let's take the 21 true
337 plus 21 AB 7 equals, how to do math, 358. 358 divided by, I know you can just do 337 or 21 divided by 337, but at this point it's consistent throughout this, so fuck it. I don't want to change it up now. 358 divided by 337 equals, how much is that?
from attack boost 7, add it to this 3.
Wait, I can just do it on my 6.2%. And increase.
337 and see what the percent increase is. That's right, attack boost 7 is a 6.2% increase in your DPS. That is less than a 1% increase per skill level. Now, of course, this doesn't account for the 5% affinity you get from it, which does push it up a little bit higher, but you're still looking at a sub 7% DPS increase. Now, instead, let's look at what critical eye 7 would get us. So let's assume that we have weakness exploit 3 and crit boost 3, but no crit eye. So this with 50 increase. Now instead, let's look at what critical eye 7 would get us. So let's assume that we have weakness exploit 3 and crit boost 3, but no crit eye. So this with 50% affinity on softened weak points ends up hitting a 1.2 critical modifier. Now if we take the 40 extra affinity,
check a spreadsheet for this one. This one's a bit more complicated. Okay, what the fuck am I comparing again?
exploit 3 and crit boost 3, but no crit eye. So this with 50% affinity on softened weak points ends up hitting a 1.
Now let's just type it out.
Exploit 3 and crit boost 3, but no crit eye. So this with 50% affinity on softened weak points ends up hitting a
Wex 3 plus CB 3. Let's see, 50%. Oh wait, Wex 3 plus CB 3 equals a, what was that?
1.2 critical modifier.
1.2 cm
modifier. Now, if we take the 40 extra affinity from critical eye, add
plus CE7 affinity equals
that in, we get a 1.36.
1.36 because at 96% at 90% affinity. (1.36) divided by 1.2 is a 13.3% increase.
Critical modifier. Now, 1.36 over 1.2 is a 13.3 repeating percent increase in DPS. That is twice what you get from attack boost 7. And because of how additive bonuses work in that they get worse the more of the stat you already have, if you are not hitting softened weak points, critical eye gives you an even higher percent increase in total damage. Crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3 when not hit. Crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3 when not hitting softened weak points gives you a 1.12 critical critical modifier. Now, if you throw in critical I7, you then hit 70% affinity, putting you at a 1.28 critical modifier. Now, 1.28 over 1.
I'm now double checking my numbers because I got that one wrong earlier. Thanks, Arati. 1.12, 14.28.
0.12 is a 14.3% increase.
Oh, okay, 14.3, fine. I'll round up.
Increase in DPS, which is even higher. And yes, it gets even higher if you're whiffing weak points. That means it's higher. And yes, it gets even higher if you're whiffing weak points. That means if you aren't a skilled speedrunner and only hitting softened weak points and you whiff quite often, it's actually even better to run crit I7 than it is attack boost 7. And now you may be thinking, but what if I don't have crit boost at all? Well, just weakness exploit 3 puts us at a 1.12. Well, just weakness exploit 3 puts us at a 1.125 critical modifier. Now, if we add in critical I7, that puts us at a 1.225 critical modifier, which
I don't think I need to include this part anymore.
works out to an 8.9% increase.
Make sure that's right. 1.12, 1.225 divided by 1.125 equals a 1.225 divided by 1.125. 8.9%.
And damage, still much higher than attack boost 7. And yes, if you whiff weak points and soften weak points, this does get even higher a percentage increase, just like we previously discussed. And keep in mind, this is multiplicative with true raw, meaning that you get this exact same percentage increase in damage regardless of whether you're using a level 1 weapon or an endgame rarity 12 weapon. Oh, and critical eye is significantly easier to drop in terms of level 4, level 1, and combination decos. Oh, and because Master's Touch is meta again for a lot of different weapons, crit also means more sharpness. So yes, this is why attack boost is a trap. Had not been buffed at trap. It is an So yes, this is why attack boost is a trap. Attack boost is a
little too early on the front end.
Attack boost is a
Nope.
Why attack boost is a trap. It is an additive bonus already put on a gigantic trap. It is an additive attack boost is a trap. It is an additive bonus
As assistant editors, lol. I do appreciate it, guys. I wish I could communicate. I wish I could like interact with you more, but like I'm just focused on editing.
Already put on a gigantic value we already have, so it just gets weaker and weaker. In fact, in base Monster Hunter World, when we had 60 to 70 less now because we weaker. In fact, in base Monster Hunter World, when we had 60 to 70 less true raw in our builds at base because our weapons were weaker, and Crit Eye had not been buffed to have an extra 5% affinity at max level, we still preferred maxing out our critical modifier before we even thought about adding an attack boost or raw. And in Iceborne, attack skills are even weaker now because we have that 60 to 70 extra true raw in our weapons. And in case you're wondering if attack boost is going to be better for early game Iceborne when you're going through the story, that is also markedly And in case you're wondering if attack boost is going to be better for early game Iceborne when you're going through the story, that is also markedly untrue. This is actually a misconception I've seen going around quite a bit in the community. And I already despise misinformation, but misinformation spread to new players is even worse. They don't know any better and they're trusting you to give them accurate information as a veteran. Again, even in high rank, we preferred getting higher crit mod over adding misinformation, but misinformation spread. If attack boost is going to be better for early game Iceborne when you're going through the story, that is also markedly weapons. And in case you're wondering if attack boost is going to be better for early game Iceborne when you're going through the story, that is also markedly
Oh, hush, Wolf. That's why we fixed it before the video went out, so it's not misinformation.
untrue. This is
Yeah, elemental attacks preferred for dual blades. You wanna hit 6 in endgame for dual blades.
actually a misconception I've seen
Earlier on, if you're going through story, you only need 3 though, but in endgame you definitely need 6.
going around quite a bit in the community. And I already despise misinformation, but misinformation spread to new players is even worse. I already
Let's see, where are you? Graphical assets. Oh wait, what am I doing? This is in my templates, isn't it? No, it's not. Weird. Why isn't it in my templates? Okay, whatever. Drag and paste. 500.
despise misinformation. I already despise misinformation, but misinformation spread to new players is even worse. They don't know any better and they're trusting you to give them accurate information as a veteran. Again, even in high rank, we preferred getting higher crit mod over adding raw into the builds. Master rank weapons, even the base level master rank weapons, have higher raw than high rank weapons did, which means that early master rank attack boost is even worse than it was in high rank. There is just no point during master rank that you should be focusing on attack boost over crit eye unless you're running a weapon that cannot crit.
Probably write that.
There is just no point
It's preferred, not preferred. Where the fuck did I write preferred? Oh. Hey, I'm Jinx. I know how to spell. Thanks God I...
7, we get weakness exploit 3, and then we also get critical. No point during master rank that you should be focusing on attack boost over crit eye unless you're running a weapon that cannot crit. So that means that once we get critical eye 7, we get weakness exploit 3, and then we also get critical boost 3, we should just stick in attack boost 4 if we can fit it, right? Well, not necessarily. See, the thing is, if you can afford to fit it in instead, running Agitator 4 is significantly more preferable. See, even though Agitator did get nerfed in Iceborne, it also got significantly more.
There? Did I say there? What was that? Oh, you're spell checking chat. Okay.
Not necessarily.
Where is my shruggu?
We should just stick in attack boost 4 if we can fit it, right? Well, not. Well, not necessarily. See, the thing is, if you can't afford to fit it in,
No problem, Sphinx.
Agitator 4 is significantly more preferable. See, even though Agitator did get nerfed in Iceborne, it also got significantly more buffed due to Enrage uptime time. 16 more attack and 7. See, even though Agitator did get nerfed in Iceborne, it also got significantly more buffed due to Enrage uptime timers. See, at level 4, Agitator.
You know what? Actually, I have OBS. I have OBS open. Take a screenshot of Agitator real quick. I guess I'll just take the full thing. Yeah. Save that as Agi. Yes. Okay, back to this. Agi. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That window crashed? What the fuck just happened there?
See, at level
The fucking dudes in the background. Whatever. That's fine.
at level 4 Agitator, you now have 16 more attack and 7% more affinity when the monster is enraged. This is 4 more true raw as well as 2%. This is 4 more true raw as well as 2% more affinity than you get out of attack boost 4. And now in Iceborne, as soon as a monster is not enraged, you can just slinger burst them into a wall.
Oh, right. Save. Thank you. The Artillery 5 video? Oh, hush. Alrighty. Although I will say Artillery 5 light bowgun does look pretty legit. I like it. I do like it.
On the down as well as basically instantly enraging them. This puts your Agitator uptime at like close to 90 to 95%. For all intents and purposes, the only time Agitator should not be up is when the monster
that heavy slam whiff was painful.
when the monster is down from you knocking them into a wall. Unless you're running TA plus Clutch Claw rules, in which case you cannot use flinch bursts, and then maybe you prefer attack boosts. But wait, Agitator is a level 2 skill. But wait,
I need like an aha emotes to use.
Skill and attack boost is a level 1 skill, so you can't really make them equivalent, can you? Well, yes and no, which is why I say if you can fit Agi 4 in instead, you should. So first off, Master Rank armor is very lacking in level 1 deco slots. So very often you end up having to slot attack boost into a level 2 or higher deco slot anyway, or use an attack boost.
Lol, KT horns can be tenderized. Yup, I heard about that.
Combo deco that you can get in the level 4 deco. Now in those level 2 deco,
R5 is definitely not meta on Charge Blade. It's too much damage lost to run Zoro 5 piece. Or Zoro 3 piece, sorry.
deco slots, you can just slot an Agitator. And in your level 4 deco slots, you can just slot in a combination Agitator something else deco or a level 2 Agitated deco instead. Assuming you have the choice, of course, but I'm fairly certain the double Agitator deco is less rare than the double attack boost deco, but we haven't seen any table and roll numbers yet, so I'm not 100% on that. And then there's also the charm, so you can get an attack boost 4 charm now, which seems pretty good, but you can also get an Agitator 4 charm, which is just better. So yeah, there are a lot of situations in which you can easily fit Agitator 4 instead of attack boost 4, and it's just better. Pretty much now, the only time you're fitting in attack boost instead is if it's either more efficient than fitting in Agitator or because you cannot fit Agitator in it instead. And
That fucking Raffinos, wake up.
there are situations where you would rather have
These Raffinoses, I swear.
just so you can get a fit Agitator in it instead. And there are situations where you would rather have attack boost 4 and Agitator 1 or 2 just so you can get that extra 10% affinity. But in some situations that isn't a choice, and having attack boost 4 or Agitator 4 is a choice, and you should always be going with Agitator. And remember, you're only going to fit either of these in after you get Crit Boost 3, Critical Ice 7, and Weakness Exploit 3, as well as whatever Sharpness related skills you need for your particular weapon of choice. And for those of you wondering about peak performance goes below both of these. Unless you're
Alright, I actually do a skill order, I need to write a thing for that.
just so you can get that extra 10%. And remember, you're only going to fit either of these in after whatever Sharpness related, always be going with Agitator. And remember,
Wait a second.
up by 60 to 70. Not to mention it's trash without health augment. Yeah, just to summarize.
Okay, yeah, I do a summarization later, never mind.
Extra affinity out of either attack boost 4 or Agitator 4 or 3 first. Peak was always the kind of skill, even in base Monster Hunter World, where you go, well, I can't really fit other stuff on here anymore, so I'll just throw Peak 3 on top of the set. And now it's even worse, because again, our true roll went up by 60 to 70. Not to mention it's trash without health augment, and you cannot get health augment.
I don't really have any soundproofing set up yet. I'm looking at getting some more soundproofing done because my window, it's a problem when they're like gardening outside in my window because I live in an apartment complex. But I don't really have much any soundproofing. My audio generally sounds clean because I do some post-production. Like, I haven't done post-production on this yet, cause I'll show you after we finish the video text box yada yada shit. I'll show you what I normally do. It's super simple, but
On your weapons until really.
also the music and background always helps with making audio cleaner. The mic I use is also really nice. Tuna sent me one of his old mic, which is a Shure, and it's a really nice, like, over $100 analog mic. So that's why the quality is so nice. Aside from like me throwing on some denoise and shit.
Really late game. But yeah, just to summarize, really late game. But yeah, just to summarize, you generally want to focus on getting
Why does it keep popping up? That's weird. Let's not do a 1-1 thing. This is weird. Let's just do a greater than sign. Greater than sharpness. Skills is greater than agi, is greater than attack boost, is greater than peak.
your critical modifier maxed out first, so that's going to be crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3, and crit ice 7 if you need that much. Now for elemental damage, this is a little weirder because you do want to have a high crit mod, but you also want to focus on having true critical element or critical elements. Crit boost 3 is still nice, but things like bow have a lot of other skills they want to fit in, like constitution, that much. Now for elemental damage, this is a little weirder because you do want to have a high crit mod, but you also want to focus on having true critical element or critical elements. Crit boost 3 is still nice, but things like bow have a lot of other skills they want to fit in, like constitution, stamina surge, spread, and normal shot up and such, so you might not be able to fit in all the crit boost you want. But after you have all that critical modifier taken care of, then you can worry about fitting in more raw into your and such, so you might not be able to fit in all the crit boost you want. And of course, on these elemental builds, you want either elemental attack 3 or 6, generally 6 in late game, but 3 is enough for the earlier level weapons. Boop. I just put a little bit about element in there, because I'm not sure people are going to be asking about it in the comments. Surge, spread, and normal shot up and such, so you might not be able to fit in all the crit boost you want. And of course, on these elemental builds, you want either elemental attack 3 or 6, generally 6 in late game, but 3 is enough for the earlier level weapons. But after you have all that critical modifier taken care of, then you can worry about fitting in more raw into your build, because it's much less return on investment for damage. Alright, that's all I got for you on this video. Hopefully after all of this, you understand why attack boost is a trapped skill. And hopefully I'll stop seeing so many attack boost 7 builds that don't have any crit eye in them. Just to clarify, I'm not saying you have to run damage builds in this game. It's totally okay to run defensive or quality of life builds or whatever you find fun. The point of this video is to illustrate that if you are putting damage skills in your build, you need to focus on crit mod first. At least for non-fixed damage specific weapons, because things like gun lance and some charge blade builds get a little bit messier, but that's an entirely different topic. As always, thank you so much for checking out the video. I know this is a pretty dense topic.
Transitions between takes? Oh, yeah, pretty much. You mean for the audio? Yeah, pretty much the best you can do is try, like, part of it is that one of the big, like, markers of, like, keeping your tone and cadence consistent is important, which is relatively easier for me because I have kind of a consistent recording voice, I guess. I talk very differently, when I'm just chatting or when I'm, like, on stream normally and stuff like that, but a big part of it too is just like as you record, you get used to the time, to the 3, 2, 1 timer, and like a big marker of something being set of audio not being a clean like take after take is, or that it's clearly like a new clip of you talking, is the spacing in between each of them. For example,
Different topic. As always, thank you so much for checking out.
so that's nice and clean, right? Now let's look what happens if I add just an extra 5 frames to that.
Different topic. As always, thank you so.
Boom! It sounds like it's cut, right? It sounds very it doesn't sound very clean at all because of that. And then let's see what happens if I remove roughly 5 frames from the beginning in between.
Highly different topic. As always, thank you.
Sounds unclean. So a lot of it is just figuring out, like a lot of it is just getting the correct amount of space in between so that it continues to match the pace at which you're talking in the recording. I don't do much audio stuff. Like, part of this is that like I don't really have to do too much of that adjustment anymore because I've recorded so many videos. I'm just used to timing it properly now. But that's a big thing to look out for making it sound clean. Is see, now it just sounds clean because it's the right spacing of time between them. It matches the pace of my talking very well. In this case, it matches the pace of my talking when I start talking about a new subject. But like,
Thank you so. At least for
like right here,
first. At least for non.
the spacing is very in time with how I space my words when I'm talking. So. Yeah, the issue with Peak isn't the uptime. The issue with Peak is just that it's always been like a cherry on top skill. Like Agitator and Peak were always cherry on top skill. Now Agitator is more of a above or tied for like attack boost slot now, while like if you have the choice between like an attack boost 4 charm or an agitator 4 charm, you should use the agitator 4 charm. But peak has kind of been left behind by the rest now because of that. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad, and if you have nothing else to throw on your build, still use it because the uptime isn't really an issue, and health augments are still a thing. Health augments a much later game now than they used to be. Like you have to get pretty deep into master rank to be able to access weapon augments, although not specifically health augments, but it's just not nearly as important as other skills. It's very much a cherry on top. Oh, well, I guess I can already fit crit I7, crit boost 3, weakness exploit 3, along with attack boost like 5 or 6, and like agitator 4 or 5. I guess I'll throw some peak in there now.
If you in the way you could understand and that it helped. If you have friends who would be interested in learning this information, be sure to share the video with them. And if this video did teach you something new, be sure to let us know by liking the video and leaving a comment below. It really does help. And thank you as always to Honey over at honeyhunterworld.com for creating and maintaining the tools we use to make sets. The updated builder for Iceborne is getting closer and closer, and we are very excited to use it. And if you'd like to find some like-minded hunters to hunt with on Iceborne or Monster Hunter World PC, check out our Discord server, the Mathlow's Nest. We do also have Iceborne specific channels on there, so no risk of spoilers if you're not looking for those. We do of course also have
Oh, that one's a little too cut. Oh, son of a bitch.
for those. We do
Ah, fuck, I don't want to re-record that line. I'm pretty sure I can fix this with constant power.
We do if you're not looking for those. We looking for those. For those.
That sounds fine.
You're not looking for those. We do of course also have a Twitter where we post updates about videos and various things that interest us, and Tuna has a Twitch where he streams almost every single day. He will be live as soon as the video goes live, so be sure to go show him some love. And of course none of this is possible.
Actually, make sure Tuna will be live when this goes live. Oh, whatever, we'll do that in a second.
Generosity about patrons.
Alright, where's my template assets? Template assets. Template assets. It's right here. I haven't eaten today yet, so I need to do that after this. It's 7 o'clock. Okay.
And it is especially huge. This is possible that you generosity about patrons. And an especially huge thank you to our new patrons Palmito and Bangor 82. All of you and your generosity have carried us all the way to where we are today, so thank you so much. Alright, that's all I have for you on this one. Hopefully with all of this information, you now understand why Raw is relatively weak compared to Critical Modifier and Iceborne. Now we do have plenty more Iceborne content coming out because there is a
This one's actually, fortunately, this is actually a relatively simple video to edit.
there is a lot to cover with the new expansion. So if you'd like to see those videos the moment they come out, as well as get notifications as soon as I live stream on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as hit the notification bell. If you do not hit the notification bell, YouTube won't let you know when all of this stuff happens. Subscribe basically just means, hey YouTube, show me videos like this. Okay, thanks, bye. Alright, have a good one.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Bye. Alright. Videos like this. Okay, thanks, bye. Alright, have a good
Better.
one, everyone. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Boom. And so like because this one's a lot easier to edit, honestly, because other than like, you know, adding a bunch of text boxes and shit like that, it's pretty much like the background footage is irrelevant. So what makes a lot of videos like the shower video, for example, and other things like that, a lot more complicated, is having to find the appropriate clips, scrub through footage to find said clips, time the clips with what's being said on screen so that it lines, so that the visual and audio information line up nicely to help absorption of information, and then also transition work, because so here's an interesting thing is that if you ever edit any video, you'll probably end up encountering this phenomenon where whenever you are editing and doing a transition from clip to clip, you will always want to use a transition so badly. Because while you're scrubbing through and like while you're watching your own editing and watching through your own playback, it will look so weird and jumpy that there's a cut transition there. There's a jump cut. A jump cut is just when you go from like no transition, just scene, right? And it'll look so weird and so off, and you'll want to throw a cross dissolve or a dip to black or a swipe or something in there. One of the key markers, every single video editor, either like content creator who has produced a lot of videos or professional video editors I've talked to, I have had friends in the past who worked in Hollywood and all this kind of stuff. One thing that they have all universally agreed on is that one of the key markers of an amateur editor is overusing transitions. Transition, if you like go and watch any of your favorite movies, any of your favorite TV shows, any professionally done video projects, and you will see that they basically never use a transition other than jump cuts unless it adds to the storytelling somehow. Like, Jenny and I were watching Legion the other day, and in Legion, the only time they use transitions is they would have like it pan up and then do like a fade swipe upwards for the next scene, but it added to the storytelling. It created a new direction of movement in the scene, and basically did this really nice transition effect for it. But otherwise, if a jump cut looks off, it's because you're timing it wrong. Jump cuts should make up 95% of your transitions pretty much always. The exception is probably like it's kind of become standard for a lot of like montage videos to have like meme cuts, but that's because the meme cut adds to like the I guess like the hype silly clip sort of thing about it, right? But you don't jump cuts are what you do 90% of the time, 95% of the time. The problem is that when you're editing, it's gonna look unclean to you at the start. It always does. Jump cuts always look weird when you're like editing, but then when you actually like rewind it 10 seconds, play it back, and if it still looks weird, the timing's off. It means that the timing to the audio or whatever for the scene is off, and you need to fix that. Really, the only time I ever there are two situations I pretty much use transitions. One is dip to blacks for like big topic changes. Like if we're going from like random background footage to this is now important footage relevant to what we're talking about. Like you see this happen quite a bit in the S&S combos video. I do quite a few dip to blacks when we're like going from just random background footage to like showing the combos off on the screen. I'll sometimes use dip to blacks for that kind of, because dip to blacks very much trigger in the brain that this is a big scene change. This is like a big topic change sort of thing. And then the only other time I pretty much use cross dissolves is I use cross dissolves for looping footage. Like if I'm just looping like a build on screen or something, then I'll just have like a 40-second clip and loop it with cross dissolves to make the transition a bit cleaner every 40 seconds. I've only watched like 3 episodes of Legion, but it's really good from what I've seen so far. I'm not a big fan of like comic book stuff, but it's really well done. It's really well done. But yeah, that's the video. Let's add music. Just a little editing tip there to anyone who's interested in doing any editing work. Learn to not use transitions, because generally speaking, if a clip switch doesn't look right when you play back through it, so after like 10 seconds beforehand, it's likely not because you shouldn't use a jump cut. It's likely just because the timing is off for the jump cut. This was actually, and this is a particularly a prescient topic because I was teaching Tuna some video editing basics, so he could try editing some of his own stuff, and like that was something I had to kind of get through to him. He was like, it looks really unclean when I don't use a cross dissolve here. I'm like, that's because either the timing's wrong or you haven't watched it in context. If you go like 1 or 2 seconds before the jump cut and watch it through, it's gonna look weird. It always does. But yeah, don't use transitions. It's a thing that like unless it adds to the story or effect, like if you're trying to make a meme video, meme transitions work pretty well. But we're so accustomed to jump cuts now that they don't look weird as long as the timing of them is right. I bet you if you watch your if you watch your favorite TV show, an episode of it, you'll be able to count on one hand the number of times that they use non-jump cuts. Okay, music, music, music. I just used winter recently. Can't use that. Oh, I love this piece so much, but I don't want to loop bees. Oh, I don't want to loop the bees for fucking 19 minutes. This is one of my favorite pieces. Too short though. This is my favorite piece. Wrong Note is my favorite piece of all goddamn time. It's so good. This is like the entire concept of Uncanny Valley in a song, oh, in a classical piece. It's beautiful. This. I should do TED Talks. Yeah, maybe. I mean, let's be real. The reason why I got into content creating is because I like teaching people. Like I hate managing people, but I like teaching people. So a lot of places I've worked, I've been the trainer for that exact reason, and I like teaching people. I enjoy giving like lectures about stuff. I like that. That is, if anything, that's a passion. That's a passion I have. The problem is I can't really become like an actual teacher because that requires like generally at least a master's degree, and I don't even have a bachelor's. I dropped out of college due to mental health issues when I was younger. Um, and like that's just too much time investment for to get into a career that doesn't pay well. So this is nice because it lets me kind of indulge that teaching love I have, I guess. This is kind of good, but I feel like I used this recently in a video. This one's also really annoying to level. No, not that one. Nope. Okay, I love this one too. Maybe I should just find some new music. I've been reusing the same like 35 tracks for a while now. Yeah, let's just use some new music. Let's find something new to use. In case you're wondering, the site I use for all my classical pieces is Muse Open. They're a non-profit that basically their whole deal is getting performers to record Creative Commons or otherwise royalty free uh performances of classical scores. Because here's the thing: people always think because classical music is public domain, classical music's all royalty free, right? That is entirely not true. The score is royalty free. You can use the score for anything you fucking want, but any performance of a classical piece belongs and is the property of the performers, and they can choose to make it royalty free or Creative Commons or Attribution Creative Commons or whatever they want to make it. But the performances are not royalty free just because the actual musical score is public domain. Just in case y'all are wondering, and in case you need to be careful about that still, because you can still get copyright strikes. You can still all of this stuff if people figure out that you're using their performance of something. I haven't used much Mozart lately. Let's look at some etudes. Okay, I guess I don't have any recordings of this. Okay, this is hurting my neck. Let's move it to the main screen. Opera, huh? Nope. This is just... Wait, what? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is just a score. You can also get all the scores off of this website if you happen to be a classical musician. Okay, let's just look at these real quick. I feel like I already have this one. Oh no, I don't have this one because European Archives is such bad quality. I can't believe I don't have this piece already. What is this, Creative Commons? Oh, nice! This is a public domain Mark 1. Sweet. Mine. I want to see what else this performer has. Ah, they only have one piece on here. Oh, okay. I don't like the bassoon concerto that much. Alright. Oh, it's this piece. I haven't heard this in so long. What's the comments on this? Attribution unported. Yeah, have to attribute, sure. Are these all attribution unported? I'm wondering if there's any of these public. Nah, this is all from Papalin, so they're probably all attribution unported. That's fine, can just link it. Some of these are like more annoying to level than the others, though. Moonlight Sonata, yeah. I use Moonlight Sonata a lot, Will. It's already in like 5 videos. I really want to download these. I might just download some of these just to have. I don't think I'm ever actually gonna use them. I only get 5 a day, so I'm probably just gonna use the Piano Sonata for this. I actually forget what the title of this piece is. Ronda alla Turca, yeah. We'll just use this. This works. I might have to level it a little bit, but whatever. Alright, let's transfer all of this into my music folder. And now my computer's like, where did it go? I can't play this now. Okay, let's see here. Oh, whoops, I accidentally appended that on the subscribe. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello.
I'm actually missing the initial part of that.
Hello, everyone. Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter math guys. So, in today's video, I want to talk about an extremely common...
Obviously, I had to turn it down. You always do.
So many people doing. And that mistake is prioritizing raw like attack boost in your builds.
It's still too loud.
Attack boost is a trap. However,
So just for those curious, I guess I'll pull this over here so you can see it. So I have my audio track. Actually, this makes more sense. So I have my audio track mixer here.
hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter math.
Voice is hitting -8, -9.
Your build, you should not...
Negative, yeah, so this needs to be up by like 3 decibels at least.
Hello everyone, Jinx
There we
here,
go.
one of the Monster Hunter math guys. So in today's video,
Around negative like 5 to 7 is a pretty good listening volume. You also have to be careful though, because if your standard is level 5 and then you like scream at some point during the audio, that can bump it to like close to 0, at which point you'll literally crackling people's speakers. In fact, I think I have something in here I have to be careful of that for.
there is
This one, yeah.
so much true roll bonuses.
Yeah, this is hitting negative 2.5, so this is too loud. I need to cut this down by like 2 decibels. Boom. But yeah, that should be fine now.
Conversely, there is so much.
That's more bearable.
roll bonuses you can get.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about when you have like really loud chunks. You have to adjust the leveling or it's gonna be bad.
Hello everyone, Jinx here. One of the
But like, so my audio is hitting around negative 20,
talk about an extremely
and on the loud points it's hitting like
especially as
negative 18. That's too loud. Like that's way too loud. It's gonna, especially with how voices oftentimes, even at the same decibel range, are just not as hearable as music is because of the fact that it's a full composition. So you need to make sure it's pretty low in order for it to actually be hearable. So let's try a negative 20.
really good. However,
All right.
it is not
Still a little too loud.
priority. If your intention is to increase
But now the question is the big.
Hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter math guys. Hello everyone, Jinx here. one
Yeah,
of the
that's
Monster
better.
Hunter math guys.
Negative 30 to like negative 25 is
Extremely common
hearable.
misconception as well as build.
If you include Chopin, Etude OP 25 number 11, Winter Wind. I think I do. No, not number 11. I don't. Not number 11. I haven't included that. I use a lot of Chopin, but I haven't gone that particular track. I think I couldn't. I'm pretty sure I couldn't find a Muse Open like royalty-free version of it, so that's why I haven't used it yet. Although now I am curious. Let's see if we can find one. Muse Open. Let's see if we can find one real quick. Chopin. Frederic. Right? If we could play Kanye, that'd be great. That would actually be great. Yeah, let's find out too. Yeah, well, oh, maybe they do have some. Oh, they do. I guess I just haven't gone. I haven't gone into it yet. For 11, yeah. Let's see. Oh, and this is completely copyright free? Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, it's a premium. That's probably why I don't have it. You gotta pay like $5 a month to get access. Well, technically, so there's a. Okay, I can't do it right now because I've already gone 5. Muse Open does not have the best design site, so sometimes even though it tells you to get a premium, for it, you don't necessarily have to, because sometimes it's just like you click it a second time and it's just like, whoops, I guess we start the download now. We forgot about the whole premium thing. Okay, actually there's another one for this. I don't have See, sometimes if you click it enough, they'll give you an extra download. But not today, I guess. I'll bookmark this so I can start working on getting these downloaded, because it seems like most of these are public domain, or they're either public domain or 0 copyright on them, which is nice. So, I want to have the rest of those. I want the rest of those. Okay. See how the leveling looks.
I see so many.
I normally have this on my left side monitor, but you guys can only see one monitor at a time, so I'm over here for your sake.
And that mistake is prioritizing raw like attack boost in your builds. However, it is not your.
That's still too loud. I guess we'll just do a little leveling of these high points. Let's try negative 25.
Priority. If your intention is
Okay, that's good now, but.
Hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster Hunter math guys. So, in today's video, I want to talk about an extremely.
So there are 2 ways you can go about leveling. There's the clean way, and there's a less clean way. I generally do the less clean way because it's faster. But there are two ways to do leveling. Either you cut the clips and just adjust it,
Hello everyone, Jinx here, one of the Monster
but
Hunter
it'll have a
guys.
little dip
So, in
over
today's
here
video, I want to talk about an extremely common misconception.
that you may not notice. It's a very unlikely for you to notice unless you're looking for it, but this is technically less clean. The clean way to do this is to actually create a I guess you would call it a volume animation. I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but we change the level here, and then boop 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 boop, change the level here, and then we can go from 6 to 3 here, and then it'll start at 6.
Hunter math guys. So in today's video, I want to talk about an extremely common
Dip to 3,
misconception as well as build.
and if you and that's a little too immediate a dip. So if we instead go for out here and make that instead, and see, that's much cleaner. Like that's just much cleaner. Like you can back. See, much cleaner transition. It's just a lot more laborious to do this for all the high points and low points, but this is the cleaner way to do it. Because the background music is so quiet in our videos relative to the voices, I don't really generally bother doing this for it because it's not noticeable. It's like the kind of thing that you only notice if you're looking for it, basically. The generally cut drops look just fine, but also this should. And this is where it gets loud, so. Change this to just 0. Yep, very clean. You can barely tell, but it does help with those high points. That's why I say some tracks are more annoying than others to level, because some of them it's just like Funeral March is fucking terrible because it's just like boop, 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 boop. Like it's like, oh, is this supposed to be dubstep or something? Jesus fucking Christ. So it's so difficult to level those kinds of tracks, but anyway, that should be good enough. Let's just do it. Now we just gotta figure out how to make the transition between these two clean. Yeah, it's too long. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit sooner. A little too late still. Better. But now I have to make this line up. So now what I gotta do is I gotta make this cut at the front and this cut at the back of this one line up. So we copy and paste this one. Oops, did I copy the right one? I copied the right one. Copy and paste that. And then we move that over here. Oh, whoops, what am I doing? There, I forgot how to do this. It's been so long. Okay, so what we do is we get right here, do this. Cut it at the same point as it was before. Max out the lengths of both of these. So now I can line this up perfectly and then cut this right where it needs to be cut. Boom, I have the, boom, it's now the perfect size it's supposed to be. All right. It's been a while since I did that. Okay, boop, 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 boop. All right, now comes the fun part. Figuring out how to make this finish nicely. So do that, do this. At the end here, make sure this lines up nicely with the bye. Let's see.
Everyone, will see you in the next video. Bye.
A little bit earlier.
Everyone, will see you in the next video. Bye. Right, have a good one, everyone. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Now we just gotta figure out how to make this, where to place this, to make it not sound like shit.
Either attack boost 4 or add.
Like, see, that sounds like shit. So generally finding a so this is kind of a low point. That might work well if we can get the transition nice. Because unfortunately, the tracks are not going to let you repeat them 3 to 4, 5 times and line up perfectly with the length of your video. So you gotta do a little bit of... That's too sharp a point for that to work. Need to find something a bit more muted. Try that. No, that... Oh, fuck no. That sounds so bad. Perfect. So we can just get a get something nice starting there. That might work. Yeah, this is potential. Oops. Yeah, if we just use a constant power transition on this and get it to the right size, this should be good. A little smaller. I think that might be the best we're gonna get, honestly.
Unless you're running TA plus clutch claw rules, in which case you cannot use flinch bursts, and then maybe you prefer attack boost. But wait, Agitator is a level 2 skill, and attack boost is a level 1 skill, so worse, because again, our true roll went up by 60 to 70. Not to mention it's...
Nah, that's still really fucking noticeable. It's too sudden.
without health or...
Oh wait, maybe here. Here. The melodies are so distinct in this one. It's very difficult to get. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, this might work. Just so hard to find one that actually is clean. So hard to find a nice clean one. It's too jumpy. Maybe if I just... Adjust it like that. No, it's still too... Oh, this track is really hard to do this for. I might just have to do this instead. This normally doesn't take this long to do either. This track is just particularly. Maybe this will work. I think I've got it. Cleaner. Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. It's trash without health augment, and you cannot get health augment on your weapons until really, really late game. But yeah, just to summarize, you generally want to focus on getting. That's the best we're gonna get. I don't really know that much about cinematography. I watch and read stuff, but I'm not really I'm not educated in cinematography, so to speak. Okay. Anyway, export. Yay! We're exporting now. YouTube 1080 codec. Max rendering. Boop. Okay, so I probably have to stop stream now because I'm pretty sure my computer will melt if I try to run OBS and also encode a video at the same time. So thanks so much for watching me edit. I hope you guys enjoyed it or learned something interesting. A lot of people have been asking me to do this kind of stream, so I figured why not. But it has been fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me go through this whole process. This is one, like I said, this is one of the relatively easier videos to edit. But I gotta hop off because I'm pretty sure my computer will melt if I try to have OBS and Premiere encoding at the same time. So happy hunting, hunters. Bye.